You mean the lady who handles the chairman's business? Or the third most powerful person in the colony? Oh, right, they're the same person. Unless they're paying us, then yeah, fuck the board. Don't get him started, Captain. He'll go on like this all day. What are you saying, Martin? That's an Auntie Cleo's product. Gotcha. What I wouldn't give to see the look on your face. This guy's real easy to fuck with. It's your party, Captain. Why does that sound familiar? It's Dr. Fenhill. I certainly know his ex-crew. Mostly from the operating table. I've probably seen more of them than he has. We did not. Keep going and you're gonna see how good this automech is at picking up teeth. You'd better hope not. Come on, Felix. A real rebel doesn't ask permission. Buy me a couple drinks first. Nothing like going where you want, when you want. Which you can do when you don't work shifts. I told you you should have gone independent. Wonder what kind of haul they left behind. So that's what that smell is. Wanda's secret is repeat business. Once her subjects see her work, they gotta come back to get it fixed. Easy on the eyes, soft in the skull. A real danger to the gene pool. And you think auto mechanicals are a good substitute? Don't let your patients hear you say that. I make it a point not to get shot. And when I do, I can usually take care of the mess myself. I respect what you're doing here, but you know I'm not ready to settle down. It's not you, it's me. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? I tell you, it's a good thing I'm not bleeding out. I've gotten faster service at the post office. Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Whatever keeps bringing you back, I hope it's not catching. Come on, we're on a space station. No one gets that kind of luxury. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed. The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jessie. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Thought about my offer? I'm not getting any younger, and you're not getting any better looking. Look, I wasn't crazy about Jessie either. But did you really have to go and kill her? Don't you have people to murder? You can't keep me out of there. I am not making a scene. See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place. Besides, who wouldn't want to see me? I'm a delight. This is just great. Now I'll never clear my debt. Thanks a lot, psychopath. Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. It's like people touching a cookie and leaving it in the box. It's just one of those things that gets under my skin. You won't be sorry. Or if you are, just add it to my debt and we'll figure something out. Good luck getting to Jessie, and better luck if you do. She's a real piece of work. One of the orderlies told me Jessie's out already. You really do work fast. Yeah, if she's in the morgue, you say that like it's weird. It is most certainly not. And watch where you go saying that, okay? You're gonna give people the wrong idea. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all. Like I said, Jessie did me a favor and now I owe her one. Because I'm a doctor. I know what illness looks like. And Jessie was looking as sleek as a sprat in the Tyleritos last time I saw her. No wonder Jessie's still stuck here. Even the doctors are dropping dead. It's true what they say about hospitals, you know. They only make you sicker. And anyway, if someone suddenly comes down with a calamitous disease, it doesn't stay secret for long around here. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Captain. Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view. Are you listening to me, Mfuru? I'm not going anywhere, you hear? I know she's in there, Mfuru. She helped me win a bet. We were on a smuggling run planetside when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. What can I say? Something about people telling me I can't do a thing that just makes me itch to prove them wrong. And as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Probably would have caught me if Jessie hadn't picked it off. Yeah, but the important thing is I won the bet. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. That's what I thought. No such thing as a low-stakes bet in my book. Moral is, mantisaurs can't run when they're full of holes. What, you don't appreciate my go-getter attitude? It's simple. You helped me out of a tight spot. I gotta pay you back somehow. Besides, I'm a merc in need of a ship. Running around with strangers is part of the job. Any word on Jessie? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it. I'd go with you to see the board's rep, but I'm not great with soft skills. Let's just say she did me a favor, and now I owe her. So, did you find her? Or what? Maybe don't let us hear the air quotes. Just take some level head for the hangover. And maybe don't work on anything life support related for a while. Fast and loud. I sold it. Didn't seem to make me any quieter. You want to bust my chops? Do it over drinks next time I'm on station. Speak for yourself, Captain. Well, this'll be interesting, huh? But it can be a lot of fun, if you don't mind the possibility of rewiring your body on an atomic level. Well, at least she doesn't expect us to believe it. Hey, we don't work for exposure. This is why I always ask for half my payment up front. Straight to business, huh, Captain? Sounds like a major business expansion. It pays to get in on those early, you know. Wouldn't be much fun without one. Good enough for me. That signals part of how Groundbreaker stays autonomous and independent. Much as I'd love to hear fewer corporate jingles, this would be bad. Hey, that's a real planet. And no one's seen it in a long time. Nothing makes me happier than being even, except being right. That's nice too. Not today. I'm on the job. No sudden movements. This guy's crazy even by my standards. Burning to death is one of the most painful ways to go. Just in case you needed a reason to get us out of this. Of course you two know each other. Let's hope word doesn't get out about that. Wouldn't want to get a reputation as pushovers. Work smarter, not harder. Harassing? Come on, I was trying to help Jesse. Then it's lucky for us both that I've found gainful employment with someone who appreciates my ingenuity. Hey, Tobias, how's the leg? Workplace hazards, Captain. Pretty routine around here. I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other. Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship, and anyone who spends any time here gets to know Junlei. I don't like to put a label on things. Let's keep it casual. They're risky, but the odds are still a little better than waiting for certain death. He's used to scented soaps and reliable plumbing. Takes a special type to adjust to life out here. So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it. With interest. I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad. Would have felt better if it had worked. Felix, take it from me. Never get close to anyone. They'll just let you down. Besides, that's what's great about a ship like this. When things get weird, you leave. Oh, which one's the captain? And what about me? So who's Parvati? What's that make the vicar? Then Nyoka is okay, but who's Sam? That's good. For a second, I was worried you were gonna say something mushy. Hey, I don't take it personal. You look out for you, I look out for me. Law of the universe, you know? Don't go getting mushy on me now. And everyone's got different theories about what they're really up to? I can see that. It's always the quiet ones. Oh, I'm definitely gonna tell him. You know, I think she'd like that. I heard they had an automech read those lines because the actors were afraid of offending the chairman. What you reading, Max? Probably not. What is it with you and books, anyway? No, I mean keeping those paper books. You got the data pad. Why waste the cargo space? You one of those people who wears reading glasses to look smart? Hey, Max, you really think we all have a purpose? That everything happens for a reason? If that's the case, is it my purpose to annoy you or yours to be annoyed by me? You can't deny fate, Vicar. Max. Maximilian. Vicar. Vicky. Shoot, I forgot. It'll come to me. Aw, this is no fun anymore. Then... Wait, why do you sound so calm? Aren't you getting annoyed? Fine, be that way. Hey, Max, Felix said you're acting crazy, saying we don't exist or something. He's just confused, right? See, I'm all for chemical recreation, but you've been saying strange things ever since you did those drugs at the Hermits. Now I can't tell if you're just doing this to try to get to me. Shh, the captain's coming. Put your gun away. Act casual. I definitely won that round. That's because I'm usually right. Most likely, the bullet will ricochet, which could be bad. Or hilarious. There's a tiny chance of a hull puncture, which would suck us into space one chunk at a time. Bad and hilarious. That's why we don't miss. So, Phineas got himself taken to Tartarus. That's usually a one-way trip. I'm not one for pointless heroism, but the board's gonna be after us next. We gonna finish what we started? Looks like the board needs our services again. You ought to charge overtime. Could be a trap. Easiest way for them to stiff us is to lock us away forever. Ornery board goons and one-ply toilet paper for starters. But I hear their brainwashing program's state-of-the-art, so I guess you get used to it. Don't look at it as saving the day. Look at it as securing your investment. Phineas owes you big time. Long as we get our money before they get out the prison jumpers, we'll be set. It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story. No complaints here. If this works, we'll be set for life. Are you kidding? You get invited to the most interesting parties. I'm in. But since no one ever makes it out, this is all just speculation. Now that's a program I can get behind. Don't take it personal. That's just a Tuesday for the board. Figures. Too bad he's not rich. I hate getting paid with heartfelt gratitude, and I mean that as a compliment. In case I don't get another chance to say it, it's been interesting, Captain. Captain, vent shaft over there. The one the Raptidons escaped through? Great. Let's just jump right in there. I bet that's the vent shaft that guy mentioned. Are these Raptidon bites? Someone left these loaders here, Captain. I'm feeling increasingly uneasy about that distress call. Whose idea was it to put so much damn distance between the labs? Reckon we know how the Marauders got here. This is their secret lab? So much for subtlety. I hope I don't gotta explain what a current like that does to a body. So these idiots brought beasts from Monarch. You know anything about them, kid? Cut off distress call? Check. Chewed up corpse? Check. Busted up loaders? Check. Ain't nothing worthwhile here, Captain. We ought to turn back. It went for a beer with my bravado, hubris, and any other dumbass emotion that'll get me killed in the name of heroism. That air's property of Auntie Cleo Incorporated. We really gonna give a marauder her gun back? After all they did here? You suppose whoever dropped that gun is still around? Not that I'm complaining, but is there a reason we're ambling away from that distress call? Wouldn't put it past them. Nothing, so long as there's a beer and a bed waiting for me at the end of the trail. Captain? A word? Looks like somebody here's making their own fun. I don't advise imbibing. Biolab, I reckon. Doesn't look like it's been used in a spell. The hell? Is that a person, marauder, or scientist, you think? Well, that'll be our guy. Guess we ought to help, now that we're here anyway. One of those is liable to be armed. Huh. Dumbasses blew the wall. Watch out for mechanicals. I'd bet they're in the mood to shoot everything that moves. Felix, did your mother drop you when you were a kid? Smells just as nice. We're gonna help Dr. Cortez? Enraptured ain't quite illegal, but Dr. Cortez was too nervous. We'd best squint real close at his experiment. It's a load of horse shit. Snake oil for folk with more money than sense. Porter's office. Bet he's got the keycard. We could find the keycard. Just saying. Gonna need a keycard for that, Captain. Or a mag pick. Marauders must have nabbed the research already. Part of me sympathizes with being locked up like this. Rest of me's glad they ain't spitting at my face. Hope you know what you're doing, Captain. Ought to stop for a sec and enjoy the show. What a damn mess. Half of these parts could have been fenced if he hadn't fucked with them. Points for efficiency, but let's get the hell out of here before my nose falls off my face. Ugh, why does this vent stink? What kind of biochemical crap are they brewing down there? We just had to play heroes. She lived here? My cockpit's bigger than this. Gross. Least you could do is wash up every now and again. We find Orson's weapon? I say we blast a few raps before we think about giving it back. He isn't playing. She isn't playing. You're half right. If she can't hang on to it, maybe it'd be better off in someone else's hands. Somehow, I'm not reassured, Captain. Seems like you're living at the edge of the known world out here. You've got nice views and more sprats than people. What's not to like? You gonna tell us where to look, or do we gotta guess? This is the spot, but I'll be honest. It's an unsettling sort of quiet. Where's Tarmac security? Sure, marauders, bandits, wild beasts. Could be anything. Turning around is preferable to all those options. What's there to know, Captain? Shady corporate town doing shady corporate shit. They got caught with their pants down, and if we pull them back up, maybe they'll pay us. If they're still alive. What do I look like, an Auntie Cleo suit? Ask him yourself when we get there. To be quite honest, I hope it is. Outlaws tend to shoot first. Makes the decision-making process a mite easier. This may seem a radical concept, but not everyone needs saving. Has it occurred to you that this Jameson bloke's probably behind reinforced steel? He'll be fine. Huh, we're on our way to the inside of a Raptidon belly. I'm suggesting that we consider time a resource as any other, and that perhaps you're confusing reckless do-goodery with heroism. What is it, Captain? I'd really rather not. I don't got friends anymore, Captain. I just know a few folks who I'm not immediately inclined to shoot. Mind you don't fall off that very short list. You're very astute. Everything. They just flung people at this planet and hoped they'd stick. Look around you, Captain. They ain't sticking. Suppose that's true. They are good at one thing, throwing their bits at problems. A semi-trained Raptidon could run this place better than the chairman. Come on, talking politics gets my trigger finger itching. Shit, you're starting to sound like my father. Let's get... I'm done talking. Hell no. The scientists have the money. I just feel better if the Raps happened to eat them all and we took our pay from their corpses. I'm just saying it costs us fewer bullets. Yep. You mean besides the risk of becoming Raptidon food? Let's just leave it at me not feeling particularly altruistic when it comes to corporate-run outfits. That's a story for another time, Captain, and quite a few drinks. If I haven't shot you by then. I just don't want to waste the ammo, or the suture silk. Getting too talkative, Captain. Let's move on before I start looking to the Raps for better company. The distress call cutting off like that, whoever made it's likely already dead. Whatever's left is either gonna shoot us or eat us. All right, Captain, you keep believing that. I'm keeping a finger on the trigger all the same. Wow. I can't argue with that. You're saying they walked into a communications tower, turned on the transmitter, held down the talk button, and sent half a message by accident? I have no words, Captain. So be it. You're the captain, I guess. What do you want to know? It's stuffy. People got more bits than they know what to do with. They spend it, Captain, on anything they can. It surely ain't, but Byzantium is another level of rich. To them, money's a status symbol, not a necessity. You and I spend to live, they live to spend. I knew a woman who'd buy a new dress, throw a gala just to show it off, and then scrap it the next day because it was yesterday's fashion. I'd take armor plating over either. Pompous top-rungers, jewels and hors d'oeuvres, drinking, lots of drinking. Lightweight socialites throwing up in the bathrooms. Good thing they've got servants to hold their hair and clean their faces. Oh, sure. My practice needed the socializing. Doesn't mean I enjoyed it. Warming up to corporate suits while they're looking down their noses at me. Not my idea of a fine shindig. Hell no, not too keen on talking about it either. Let's get back to it, shall we? Ugh, I don't want to think about those pompous fucks. Let's get... Hell no, Captain. I could probably drink you under the table. Had being the operative word, and I'd rather shoot you than elaborate, so let's go before that option gets too attractive. Servants, plural. You should have seen the abominations they passed off as hairstyles. There was so much of it. What I'd give to see those prats get all tangled up in turbines. Thanks for the image, Captain. Please, I treated plenty of patients while less than sober. It's just an expression, Captain. It means they can't hold their drinks. A bunch of aristocrats who have 2 glasses of wine and turn green. You're on. As long as you can do your job, you can do whatever you want while doing it. Welcome to Halcyon, Captain. Oh, hell if I know. I'm not a numbers person. That's what servants are for. Sure, Captain. Keep telling yourself that. Oh, I'm judging all right. I don't like this, Captain. This is the spot, but where's tarmac security? I told you this was a bad idea. Yeah. We're not all as simple as the captain. What's actually going on here, Anton? It ain't worth asking. Trust me. Shit, any woman could have told you that. It's not worth asking. Trust me. Isn't that the truth? Oh, he's making enraptured, Captain. An aphrodisiac. Wrapped musk is the main ingredient. Yeah? Anyone in particular? Leptin's the hormone that tells humans they're not hungry. I can't see much sense in that line of research. Could be, Captain. Can't see how there's a market for them, though. No way. Are you kidding? There's nothing Byzantines enjoy like too much of everything. I was expecting that to go a lot worse, but I usually avoid the hard conversations. No point dwelling on the past. That's what I think anyway. Stolen goods is about the only part of that I understood. Well, what's a family for if not pointing out your flaws? That's some serious withdrawal, Captain. Taking less isn't really an option. Auditory hallucinations. That's a bad sign. Whatever Adrenatime did to him, it's beyond my powers to cure, Captain. Captain, I'm afraid this man is terminal. Terminally an asshole. You will be if you don't get some fluids in you. You're drunk. You just need practice. Does this involve going somewhere we don't belong? Those are my favorite jobs. Hey, he's the one asking for free medical advice. If anyone could screw something up that bad, it'd be Spacer's choice. Sounds like half the crews I run with. Not this one, of course. Shit, blood, trust us. They left a lot of messes behind. I can't tell if she's gonna be impressed or mad. Think this'll get us another drink? You could have saved it for us. I can't believe that worked. We gotta try that more often. You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but same idea. We're gonna get a few whiskeys with that, right? Sounds about right. And I thought this place was gonna be fun. You know, that's actually true. Can I shoot someone? Wait, are we the good guys or the bad guys? I thought this scene needed more action. Doesn't matter. I want to shoot someone. Hope you're better at fighting than you are at lying. Gonna have to remember that line. You could have asked me, you know. Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one. Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway. That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school. Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible. Just make sure Akande doesn't hear about it, or she's putting a hit out on us next. No tall shoes, though. I mean it. If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters. Imagine losing something with that many guns on it. If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy. I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way. That's a rare dose of sincerity for Byzantium. Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope. Lilia Hagen's already dead, so we're kinda just doing this for fun, aren't we? Hey, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Own it. She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits. Her words. Whatever he offers you, ask for more. Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties. Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders. Chasing us off already? This feels familiar. I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake. I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not. Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment. We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays. You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years. You say these things like you're surprised. And then I gotta remind myself that you've been locked away for years. So this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot. And that they're willing to spend billions of bits to haul a few cruisers to our end of the galaxy. Especially if you find a way onto the board's nice list. Yeah, you tell him. Just leave me on the ship when you do. 50-bit says he's got a hard on right now. What's in this for you? There's gotta be an angle. There always is for people like you. I get that you board types are all about efficiency, but isn't this a bit much? If we don't do it, someone else will. Maybe I left Byzantium too soon. You do that. The rest of us will watch. Hope his gas bag's paying us by the hour. I don't know what you're trying to say, but he's earned his keep with us. Complaining is a competitive sport in Byzantium. It's okay, I'm a doctor. Worth a try. You'd be surprised how often that works. I assume you mean patch him up, not make him bigger. Okay, hold still or this is gonna hurt. Can't imagine the competition. I'd offer to take a look, but you should milk that for as much R&R as you can get. This would be funny if it weren't sad. Scratch that, it's still funny. I get the feeling this is gonna take a while. If only. Now this is getting interesting. I think I believe him. He's just dumb enough to mean it. 50-bit says they kill each other before the week's out. Quite the bedside manner, lady. Whiskey helps, too. Don't blame me if I puke on your shoes. I'd hope not. Fleecing's the mark of a real professional. But until then, it's lots of fun. I'm amazed he didn't leave sooner. It's more dissolving than melting. Good to have standards, I guess. That's what she said. Sure, for lily-livered cowards. In my medical opinion, it's more of a hobby these days. In my experience, any stranger this friendly either wants to rob and airlock you or sell you something. Dilated pupils, anxious posture, muscle spasms. She's high on some quality stuff. Doesn't sound like any medication I've heard of. Nothing legitimate anyway. Some kind of off-brand drug, maybe? Wouldn't be the first or the worst. Think they'll notice if we slip out first? Says someone who's never had any fun. That was fast. I gotta see about stocking some on the ship. Mighty big gun you got there. I'm looking forward to seeing you use it. You'd be a hit in Byzantium. He's lucky they didn't want a liver or a heart. Exactly what I would have said, if I'd been paying attention. Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a cysty sandwich. Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting. There's something to be said for that, Captain. Really? Most of the time, they do illegal stuff out in the open. Cheaper that way. Don't encourage him. I don't know what you think you're gonna accomplish. I'd just as soon reorganize it into itty-bitty pieces with a really big gun, but you just keep being you. Now we've just got to deal with the iconoclasts. It's fun. That means the tower will be working. Wonder if we can broadcast some dirty jokes before we hand it over. Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that. If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets. Or they go and get themselves killed. Then they're not your problem anymore. Like that's what you saw in Edgewater? Come on. People look out for themselves. Not everyone likes the idea of hunting sprats in the back bays, Felix. And now you don't have to play by their rules. Sounds like a deal to me. What? Now I see what Celia was talking about. This guy almost reminds me of Irion, an old acquaintance from the Groundbreaker. Real piece of work. But we were talking about what a lucky gal Celia is. What's wrong? You got a pebble in your shoe? Crawl back to Byzantium if you can't cut it in the real world. You're not gonna be able to smell anything once I take my fist to your nose. Long as I get a turn to. Yeah, sure. On his neck if he's not careful. I don't know, Captain. No matter how much of a scene you make, sometimes they just aren't paying attention. Show up with a bottle of vodka and some real good cusses. That'll show her how much you've grown. MSI's gonna have a hard time getting legitimacy if everyone's so uptight about a little embezzlement. Come on. That's like calling a dentist a doctor. I'm troubled by how well you two get each other. Might actually have better reach. People read that stuff all over the system, even in Byzantium. Freedom from reliable plumbing on occasion, but I'll take cold showers over living under a corporation's thumb any day. Like I say, Captain, you just keep being yourself. I'll settle for shooting goons and grabbing loot. You're lucky they don't have airlocks on Monarch, or someone would have helped you into one by now. Ideally, you take a shitload of morphine and have someone else do it for you, but that's an amputation. My professional medical advice is to get out of here as soon as possible. Bleeding might kill him, but raps definitely will. Famous pirate raid, right? A little messy for my tastes, but those guys were in and out like pros. After meeting that guy, I'm amazed anyone around here still has 4 functioning limbs. Captain, this terminal controls airflow for the entire bunker. Believe it or not, I'm trying to save our bullets. For once. Please. You think I've been a spacer this long without knowing the basics of proper ventilation? I'll drop the O2 levels to 19.5%. That's still enough for humans, but the mantisaurs will die in a matter of minutes. Here goes. Don't thank me yet. I don't plan on dying today, Captain. Just so you know, this is gonna take a while. I've got an idea. Don't tell me this is one of those work for exposure gigs. Come on, you can't take that stuff so seriously. Hey, take the compliment. You did the work. I know what I'm calling you now. Careful, I know that line. I use it all the time. You've got a real creative definition of loyalty. And I mean that as a compliment. Come on, do you really want to get invested in the details? We finished the job. I'm starting to see why you don't get much company out here. Anyone else hear a high-pitched whining? Did I get tinnitus or is that just Hiram? I'm a doctor, not a vet. But what's the worst that could happen? I'll bet she's a hoot at parties. Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical. I like to think she's dead in spirit, but technically, legally, and regretfully, I'm still Marilyn Fenhill. That's gotta be the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while. Ellie Fenhill? It's like they say, there's no cure for that. Are you serious? Hey, those are entirely made up. This is the company that manages my life insurance plan. Who knew they had an office in Fallbrook? Hey, maybe she can help us change my beneficiaries. He means gullible, Captain. I kinda liked it when his attention was elsewhere. They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about. At least that means someone's recognizing our work. These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours. The board finally caught up to him, just when we were about to get paid. So you're the captain's mysterious associate. I'm Ellie. Nice to meet you. I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy. Even to me. Let's hope we don't have to run in a hurry. Can't think of much worse than drooling on your pillow in front of a bunch of strangers. At least no one's gonna mind if we take their stuff. Once we switch that thing on, we can get out of here, right? That does it. I'm never ever getting in one of those pods. Did we move? I hardly felt a thing. This unit needs to learn how to have a good time. I'll supervise. For safety purposes. Let's stay focused here, Max. Your voice always sounds weird. We came here so you could learn how to not be an ass, Max. So, stop being an ass. I'm not seeing the resemblance, Max. This other guy's a lot better looking than you. Can we try to convince him otherwise?
Shit! Sam's busted! Damn it! Gonna need repairs! Not now, old man! The architect ain't ready for you, Max! Don't quit on us, Parvati! Parvati? Shit! We gotta help Felix! Felix! Get it together! Get up, Nyoka! Nyoka's out cold! Sam? Shit, it's broken! Sam! Resume function! Come on, Max! Get up! Max is down! I'm not done picking on you, Max! Pull it together, Parvati! We've lost Parvati! Now's not the time, Parvati! On your feet, Felix! Come on, Felix! The kid's down! Nyoka! Shit! Nyoka's down! Nyoka! How about that? Not bad, huh? That was fun. Just like that. Anyone else? Come on! I've fought drunks who were harder to knock down. Line 'em up and knock 'em down. Been practicing this. Here we go. Woo! I got 'em! Watch a pro at work. My kind of action. You're tangling with the wrong bitch. That's it. My ex-wife hit harder than that. I got this. I got this. On it. On it. I got this. I got this. On it. On it. I got this. On it. I'll get him. 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 On it, Captain. On it, Captain. Light him up. Light him up. Time for action. Time for action. On it, Captain. On it, Captain. Light him up. Light him up. Time for action. Time for action. On it, Captain. Light him up. Time for action. Sure. Sure. I'm going. I'm going. Sure. Sure. I'm going. I'm going. Sure, I'm going. Going. Okay. All right. Going. Okay. All right. Going. Okay. All right. Sure. No problem. You got it. Sure. No problem. Sure, no problem. Can't do that. No can do. I got limits. Sorry, Captain. No can do. I got limits. Sorry, Captain. No can do. I got limits. Sorry, Captain. Afraid not. I don't think so. Afraid not. I don't think so. Afraid not. I don't think so. Be right there. Heading back. On my way. Be right there. Heading back. On my way. Be right there. Heading back. On my way. Headed back. Coming your way. On my way. Headed back. Coming your way. On my way. Headed back. Coming your way. On my way. Be right there. I'm coming. Be right there. I'm coming. Be right there. I'm coming. On it, Captain. Say no more. Sure. I got the wind knocked out of me. Don't touch my ship. Never should have got up this morning. Shit, I guess engineers have their perks. Not bad, Captain. Piece of cake, huh, Captain? Nothing to it, huh? Piece of cake, huh, Captain? Nothing to it, huh? I gotta remember to change my passwords. Anything juicy? What you got? Anything juicy? What you got? Pretty smooth, Captain. You got away with hardware. Pretty smooth, Captain. You got away with hardware. Nice. Smooth.
Smooth. This is why I never keep anything private on terminals. This is why I never keep anything private on terminals. Nice. Nice. Smooth. 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 Getting a mite thirsty. Can we find something to shoot already? I didn't sign on to stand around. Let's get... Anyone got a smoke? Anyone got a smoke? Who feels like getting into trouble? Who feels like getting into trouble? No one tells you how much of the job is waiting for action. No one tells you how much of the job is waiting for action. Who feels like getting into trouble? Who feels like getting into trouble? Getting into trouble. No one tells you how much of the job is waiting for action. No one tells you how much of the job is waiting for action. What's the hurry, right? What's the hurry, right? What's the hurry, right? What's the hurry, right? We got time. We got time. We got time. We got time. What did you do? Another hit, another bit. Easy pickings. Ooh, gonna need a body bag. Where'd you learn to do that? Someday you ought to teach me that. Ooh, what you find? Ooh, what you find? They can't keep us out. They can't keep us out. Ooh, what you find? Ooh, what you find? They can't keep us out. They can't keep us out. I won't tell. I won't tell. It ain't stealing if no one sees. It ain't stealing if no one sees. If they didn't want to tempt us, why'd they lock it up? If they didn't want to tempt us, why'd they lock it up? I won't tell. I won't tell. It ain't stealing if no one sees. It ain't stealing if no one sees. You got nimble fingers, Captain. You got nimble fingers, Captain. How'd you do that so fast? How'd you do that so fast? You got nimble fingers, Captain. You got nimble fingers, Captain. How'd you do that so fast? How'd you do that so fast? Real slick. Real slick. Real slick. You gotta teach me that. You gotta teach me that. Nice going. Nice going. Real slick. Real slick. You gotta teach me that. You gotta teach me that. Nice going. Nice going. Gonna need a body bag. Oh, that's gonna need stitches. Anyone got morphine? Or whiskey? Shit, I'm fading fast.
Captain, watch out! Captain, behind you! Behind you, Captain! Watch out, Captain! Captain, to your left! On your left, Captain! Captain, to your right! On your right, Captain! Dead on! Nice one! Bullseye! Ha! Yeah! Keep being you! Get up! Get up! Captain, no! Hold on, Captain! Shit, no! Fight, Captain! Can't get past that armor! Try something stronger! Try a bigger weapon! That's just pissing him off! Hit him with something bigger! Corrosives won't work! Corrosives won't work! Corrosives aren't doing anything! Corrosives are no good! Corrosives won't do it! Plasma isn't working! Plasma won't work! Plasma's doing nothing! Plasma ain't doing it! Plasma's not working! N-rays aren't working! N-rays won't do it! N-rays don't work on them! N-rays are useless! N-rays aren't working! Shocking him won't work! You can't shock him! Shocking's no good! Shocking doesn't work! Shock's doing nothing!
Nice shot, Captain.
Nice one! Down they go! Nice one! Down they go! Nailed him, Captain! Show him how it's done! Nailed him, Captain! Show him how it's done! Boom! Nice, Captain! You got him! Boom! Nice, Captain! You got him!
This feels a mite dirty. We ought to be doing this loud and proper.
Sneaky, sneaky. Ooh, good one. Ooh, good one. Got him, got him. Quick and clean, quick and clean. They never saw ya. They never saw ya.
Careful, Captain. Morphine and stitches only go so far. Need patching up?
Take cover! You're hurt! Take cover! Take cover! You're hurt! You're hurt! Take cover! You're hurt! Captain, you're fading! Better patch that up! Watch yourself! You're hurt! Captain, you're fading! Captain, you're fading! Better patch that up! Better patch that up! Watch yourself! You're hurt! Watch yourself! You're hurt! Captain, you're fading! Better patch that up! Watch yourself! You're hurt! That's gonna leave a mark. Ought to get that looked at. Whiskey and stitches only go so far. That's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna leave a mark!
You are some kind of stupid. Let's make this quick. Just when it was starting to get dull.
They're on us. They're on us. Take your best shot, asshole. Take your best shot, asshole. They got the drop on us. They got the drop on us. Their mistake. Their mistake. Make him regret it. Make him regret it.
If we must. We're picking the fights now?
Here we go. Here we go. Let's show him. Let's show him. Mess him up. Mess him up. Take him down. Take him down. They're in my sights. They're in my sights. We're doing this. We're doing this. This'll be quick. This'll be quick. Target practice. Target practice. I almost feel bad for him. I almost feel bad for him. They won't know what hit him. They won't know what hit him. Fast and easy. Fast and easy.
We done wasting bullets? That all they had?
That's the last of him. That's the last of him. That does it. Time for a drink. That does it. Time for a drink? They won't try that again. They won't try that again. I got another fight in me. I got another fight in me. Who's ready for more? Who's ready for more? Someone else will clean this up, right? Someone else will clean this up, right? Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us. That was a nice warm-up. That was a nice warm-up. Keep this up and I won't have any new battle scars. Keep this up and I won't have any new battle scars. Like true professionals. Like true professionals. I'm warmed up now. I'm warmed up now. Didn't even get our hands dirty. Didn't even get our hands dirty. Bring out the big guns. Bring out the big guns. Ready for a challenge. Ready for a challenge. Things are about to get heavy. Things are about to get heavy. You got Moxie, Captain. You got Moxie, Captain. What's the worst they can do? What's the worst they can do? Captain? 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 Hey there. Hey there. Enjoying some R&R? Enjoying some R&R? Taking it easy? Taking it easy? Need something? Need something? Where were we? Where were we? Like I was saying, where was I? Oh, yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah, but we were talking about something. Oh, right. But we were talking about something. Oh, right. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Yeah, all right. Let's do this. Okay, second win. Here we go. You keep talking, I'll keep shooting. Right, light 'em up. Let's do this then. It burns! It burns! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! I'm bleeding! I'm bleeding! Shit! 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 I can't see shit, Captain. Oh. My eyes! My eyes! I can't see! I can't see! Oh, I feel hungover. My legs! My legs! My legs! Shit! Shit! Fuck! Fuck! My arm! My arm! My arm! What are we creeping around for? We got guns. Ought to use them. Slow, steady, boring. Oh, are we whispering now? My gun doesn't know how to whisper.
Sorry in advance. I'll keep it down. I'll keep it down. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. I can take a hint. I can take a hint. Okay. Okay. Shh. Shh. We can talk like big boy adults again. Finally. Whew. All that squatting was starting to give me cramps. Look out! Goon's getting a little close for comfort. Getting too close for comfort. Getting too close for comfort. If we sneeze, they'll hear it. If we sneeze, they'll hear it. Get back! Get back! Watch it! Watch it! Guns ready, Captain! Guns ready, Captain! What's the point in killing someone if you aren't staring them in the eye when you do it? I'm not much for sneaking around, Captain. But we are unscathed. I'll give you that. You're tangling with the wrong bitch. Come on! I've fought drunks who were harder to knock down. That's it. My ex-wife hit harder than that.
Can we talk? Can we talk? A word, Captain? A word, Captain? We gotta talk. We gotta talk. I need a word. I need a word. You're gonna get hit in the crossfire if you meddle with those two. You're gonna get hit in the crossfire if you meddle with those two. Don't know how you managed to get Zora and Sanjar in the same room. Don't know how you managed to get Zora and Sanjar in the same room. That Harlow reminds me of my old dentist, and not in a good way. That Harlow reminds me of my old dentist, and not in a good way. Don't get used to me saying this, but maybe I was wrong about Harlow. Don't get used to me saying this, but maybe I was wrong about Harlow. So, Harlow was rottener than week-old Borst. Big surprise. So, Harlow was rottener than week-old Borst. Big surprise. I've done plenty of smuggling runs, but this thing with the chemicals is bold. I've done plenty of smuggling runs, but this thing with the chemicals is bold. You're a tricky one, Captain. I'll give you that. You're a tricky one, Captain. I'll give you that. So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system. What could go wrong? So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system? What could go wrong? So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system? What could go wrong? Captain, got a minute? Captain, got a minute? Something on your mind? Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cocktail and I've got a meaner right hook. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand, usually zero-G brew with some Spectrum vodka if you're lucky, purple berry shake if you're not. Exactly. That's what makes them fun. No complaints here. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it, I'll make a few more until you do. Out on the edge of the aether, we learn to make do with what we've got. No room for fancy predilections. Sure do. Some of it was even legal. What gave it away? It's the hair, right? Or maybe the ammo belt? I had it custom made. There's a lot of business that goes through the Groundbreaker. Some of it's board-authorized freight hauling, and some of it's not. I've done all types of work with all kinds of crews. If there's one thing you ought to know about me, it's that I won't tell you your business. Your ship, your way. But there are plenty of frontier towns that would take issue with you. Settlements that depend on goods disappearing now and then. Makes two of us, Captain. Not at all. I chose this life to make bits, not waves. Glad to hear it. It's worked for me this long. Though if I can offer another perspective, piracy's just trade the corporations don't have a hand in. Gotta figure out how to work that into my aesthetic. Maybe a pair of earrings? Gotta advertise your business somehow. That's okay. I'm an optimist at heart. I have a feeling we'll get along. And I meant it. I was only making small talk just now, but I can take a hint. Only on good days. Well, they're the ones who set the rules, so I guess you can't blame them for stacking the deck in their favor. But the rest of us have to get by somehow. Hey, I'm not out to change anyone's mind. Let's move on to something lighter. All this talk of politics makes me tired. And thirsty. Don't go getting the wrong idea. I don't have principles. I just don't like being told how to live my life. Relax, that's just a joke. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise Space Hospital. Never mind what anyone else tries to tell you. That about covers it. Shall we get back to mischief or what? Aw, come on. That stuff's boring. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that you've got to give people room to breathe. I'm all for making a few bits together and having fun doing it, but let's keep a little professional distance. Anything else? That got weird earlier, didn't it? I, probably shouldn't have gotten so head up. Well, that's a relief. Oh, that. It's about my parents. Hey, Captain. Next time we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning to do. Sure thing, Captain. Happens to the best of us at the worst of times. Since we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning to do. It's like one of those stuffy art gallery pieces. Looks okay from far off, but once you get close, you realize it's just some mismatched shit everyone's agreed to overpay for. That's what I've been saying. Don't trust anyone, don't touch anything, and whatever you do, don't show your teeth when you smile. Though if I'd known you let go of things so fast, I would have asked to borrow some bits, too. All I was trying to say back there is that I ought to drop in on my folks when we're in Byzantium. I told you. We're done. I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Gladly. Even the bribes are overpriced. People are extremely competitive about cosmetic dentistry. It can get ugly. What, like primals? Nah. Interesting like a colonoscopy. I trained as a surgeon. More my folks' idea than mine, but I made the best of it. Yeah, well, we all learn sometime, don't we? There's all these invisible rules, and everyone spends all their energy just trying not to break them. The real question is, why didn't I leave sooner? Call it what you want. It sucks. That's what I said. I'll take stale cigars and rationed showers any day. Hey, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Didn't help that most of my actual work was tightening calves and firming up chins. Lots of them, unfortunately. I even sculpted a few. Turns out Byzantines are more concerned with having square shoulders and a good profile than, well, anything else. I finally got tired of spending my hard-won skills straightening noses and firming up chins. I was a top-tier surgeon, but I could hardly open a pack of gauze without 10 people signing off first. Now you see why I left. People call Byzantium the jewel of Halcyon, but really, it's just paste. Everything's polish and bureaucracy. Take a close look and you'll see it's deader than anywhere else in the colony. That's no way to live. Easy to say when you've never had to ask permission to take a piss. You serious? I thought we were getting along just fine. Whatever you say. This was fun while it lasted. Okay, see you around. You want me to send someone else to you? Pretty sure he's been waiting on you to ask. Have fun. Go easy on her. Better you than me. At least that'll keep him out of my cabin. I shipped with a merc who had a gun like yours, Nyoka. He polished it, sang to it. Slept with it. Don't rub it in. I'm from there, but I'm not really from there, if you follow. Hey, my parents and their gold-shitting friends are top-rungers, not me. They've got pills for that. And that's not even the weirdest thing I've seen. It's all paperwork, ass-kissing, and stuffy parties where everyone eats too much. Not when you're on call, pumping stomachs all night. I'm just sorry I forgot to search the liquor cabinet before we left. Hey. Who says that's a bad thing? He couldn't hit the broadside of an assault cruiser, hence the tin shredder. Not like that, as far as I know. If I never smell another Wrapped, it'll be too soon. Sure, but those things reek like bad cologne. It's different. Smell that? Recycled air never tasted so good. At least I know where all these smells came from. I ever tell you about this one patient? One had her eyebrows moved up and the tip of her nose raised, so she'd always be looking down on everyone. Making stuff up is work. This is real. Are you kidding? I'll eat my bid cartridges before I waste them on shit like that. I just might. Someone's gotta watch your ass. Sam, have you been washing my clothes? Now I look like a banker or a dentist. Next time we visit a garbage heap, your history. Felix? From the docks, right? What are you doing here? So you're really running around with us now, huh? You're a funny guy. Seriously though, that foreman's gonna bust your ass. Hey. How are you doing? Better him than you, right? Felix, you watch too many movies. Hate to tell you, but a lot of the job is waiting for a gig, then waiting to get paid. Oh, boy. You know, Felix, now that you're a real pirate, I should induct you into the Pirate's Code of Silence. It means you agree not to talk for a very long time. What happened to the Code of Silence, Felix? What are you talking about? I'm just after a paycheck, kid. I know nuance ain't exactly your strong suit, but it's not that simple. Grow a few hairs on your chest and you'll see. Let's just say you remind me of someone. Don't take it personally. Most people aren't even honest with themselves. Gets easier when you remember that. Some zero-G brew, half a bottle of purple berry liqueur, and a splash of leftover V6 that was going bad. For color. Hold it in. I'll whip you up something when we get back to the ship. Felix, the secret to surviving a good night is a big breakfast. Wait, what are you yammering about? Look. You're okay, but don't go rubbing it in, all right? And you'll fall for anything. That's how the saying goes. I don't think I've ever listened close enough to tell. Felix, I didn't know you read. So, Vicky. Can I call you Vicky? I'm not a fucking priest. Max, you're always going on about destiny. What did your mother do? And your father? Isn't it something? I keep meaning to name it, but I can't come up with one that sticks. Hey, a pirate's nothing without a rep. And this baby has a rep of its own. Didn't realize you were an ex-con, Vicar. Oh, so you could leave whenever you wanted. Then you had a sentence. You just got a lot more interesting, preacher. So, Max, got any interesting prison stories? Do people really trade cigarettes like bits? Got any recipes for bathtub hooch? I've always wanted to try the real stuff. I thought men and women of the cloth were supposed to be all meek and patient-like. Nah, I just use them to hold heavy things in place. How do you think I got here? Got any more of those drugs, Vicar? Do I have to use the prison name? What do you call them in the clink? Candy? Papers? What if I trade you some cigarettes and you ended up a preacher how? For a vicar, you sure curse an awful fucking lot. What are you talking about? I oil it every night. Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back. Everything's got a price. I oughta. It's kept me alive this long. Something's changed with my pistol's trigger pull. You been tinkering again? Look, it's a tool that does a job. Feelings got nothing to do with it. It's a lot smoother. Thanks. Always seemed a bit crude, even for me. Besides, how am I supposed to introduce dates to Bold Betsy with a straight face? Oh, I thought you meant... Never mind. Oh, I've thought about it. Just never came up with anything I could stick with for my gun. You just come up with that out of the blue? Actually, it's perfect. Virginia it is. My second least favorite set of 4 words. Here we go. Ellie. And sure, but most of it looks the same from inside a ship. It's nothing personal, I'm just not the touchy-feely type. Look, it's just Ellie. Sure, best part is when they pay us. You gotta stop taking things so personal. You're setting yourself up for a letdown. Could be a favor in disguise. A lot of people out here ain't that nice. Never heard you sound this forceful. It's kind of refreshing. Besides a smoke and some privacy, this isn't another thing about wrenches and guns, is it? Hate to break it to you, but before I got to Groundbreaker, I fixed more noses than bones. Nowadays, I probably shoot more than I save. I've never been good with metaphors, Parvati. The only thing I need is people staying the hell out of my business. You're acting real funny. You drop a wrench on your head or something? You've seemed thoughtful since Monarch. It's not easy. I gotta tell you, most of these things aren't. Most of them. So, you and Junlei holding hands yet? You seem real happy. I'm glad for you. You and your pen pal seem to be getting along. Whoa, take it easy. Didn't realize you were so wrapped up. So you really want to be real, huh? These things work themselves out slowly. So look on the bright side. We won't live long enough to find out. Ooh. All right. From now on, you're getting raw, unfiltered Ellie. Hope you got some rubber gloves. Vicky, huh? Okay, Vicky it is. You're really gonna let me run with that, aren't you? Pulling that giant tossball stick out of your ass? Things on Monarch have really cooled off. I didn't think MSI and the Iconoclast would ever talk. Outside of shouting 4-letter words, I mean. I admire your grit, but some wounds don't heal. And I say that as someone who's plugged a few severed aortas. Something about this Harlow guy isn't on the up and up. I was sure he had an angle. Ginger Chops and the pencil pusher. By all accounts, Sanjar and Graham have been at each other's throats for years. Digging into their personal history isn't gonna change anything, only if you don't mind ending up with a mess on your hands. Honestly, stay out of it. We've got our own problems to deal with. Well, they've kept it going this long, haven't they? And anyway, we've got problems of our own. Sure, just consider this a little free medical advice. For your mental health. Wouldn't dream of it. Just giving you a little free advice. For your mental health. Sure. And fish sticks are really made from saltuna. But sooner or later, things will go back to the way they were. People don't change. Not really. That's the option I'd bet on. Well, who hasn't been there? In my experience, it's spread real thin. Anyway, I'd hate to see you get broken up if this thing between them doesn't last. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure you weren't too invested in this thing between them lasting. Just being realistic. As long as they keep their business on Monarch, their situation's got nothing to do with me. Come on, Felix. He's obviously up to something. Felix would trust a Sentry Automech if you painted an anti-corporate slogan on it. Yeah, but I usually mean it as a compliment. The way Harlow is leaning on his revolutionary bona fides, not to mention his knowing Felix back in the day, something about it feels off. Glad it's not just me. Felix, I've worked on noses that were more complex than you. Don't feel bad. It's kind of cute sometimes. Good. That makes 2 of us. I'm not suggesting otherwise, especially if Harlow's paying. I'm just saying we ought to keep our eyes open. And you're acting like those things are normal. They don't call me stubborn for nothing. People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion. Sure, I'll believe an honest thief any day. Sure I can. In fact, I bet you I live a lot longer. Maybe not this time, But if you're gonna dodge bullets, you have to know where people are aiming. See, this is what I like about you. You may not be from here, but you fit right in. What did I tell you? His down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it. Just as long as you expect it from everyone, you'll always see it coming. Anyway, you really expect me to believe you're working for the board out of some high-minded idealism? Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony? Obviously not. And better for Felix to know that now rather than become the next Trask. Fair enough. You'll probably live longer. I try to save my captain a headache when I can. Usually ends up saving me one too. Hey, I'm the doctor here. That means I'm supposed to be the one nosing into your business. I never give anything away, but consider that a little free medical advice. A stubborn redhead and a rule-bound old fart having a falling out? Can't imagine where you got that. Anyway, I can take a hint. You stay out of mine, and I'll stay out of yours. Sorry, this is still pretty fresh. I'd rather not talk about it. Look, I won't knock the work you did. I'm sure they'll have a good cry, look through old photographs, share a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato, drawn from life, I guess. Sure, maybe they'll have a good cry first. Look through old photographs over a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato. I never do. Hey, let's not make this out to be more than it is. Though, come to think of it, this whole episode reminds me of something I've been meaning to do. Yeah. Probably for the best. You're the boss. Preferences and drinking buddies are normal, inclinations and acquaintances even. You can fit most of what drives people onto a bit cartridge. The minute someone claims highfalutin notions, they're either lying to you or lying to themselves. Or worse. 1 in 1,000 actually means it. Nothing more dangerous than an idealist. Good. I don't really do subtle. I'm not used to being wrong. This is why I hate metaphors. Look. I see a lot of people, inside and out. When you get down to it, we're all made of the same stuff. Once you accept that, nothing much surprises you. Well, let me know how that works out for you. I'm warning you, that reverse psychology stuff doesn't work on me. And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. You're right. The point is that self-interest is like self-pleasure. No one wants to admit it, but everyone has a hand in it. Hey, I'm not trying to box you in, just having a friendly chat. Speaking of lost causes, there's something I've been meaning to get around to. And speaking of uncomfortable conversations, there's something I've been meaning to get around to. Enough about Harlow, though. Sure do. And unlike you, Captain, the rest of us don't get a big fancy room with wall-to-wall windows. But let's forget about that, please. There are worse things than a little solitude. You're not working for the board out of some foolish sense of idealism. You're not helping the scientist because you think that crackpot will save the colony. Don't get all mushy on me now. Come on, what did we just learn? Take a page out of my rule book. Don't trust anyone. Then it's easy. Hard for them to get a knife in your back that way. This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or whatever got him will be waiting for us. What's there to know, Captain? Shady corporate town caught up in shady corporate shit. Tough luck for them, but maybe an opportunity for us. With a lot of these companies, the thrashing you take from your boss is worse than whatever a bunch of marauders will do to you. I'm counting on it. Just a little caution. Could be a reason no one's picked up this job yet. Nah, just want to make sure we live to get paid. If you say so. I'm keeping a finger on the trigger all the same. You're saying he walked into a communications tower, turned on the transmitter, held down the talk button, and sent half a message by accident? Oh, I'm judging all right. Captain, you got a second? They don't give medical degrees to dummies, Captain. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there, see if we can get the jump on whoever's waiting for us. Doesn't exactly encourage calling for aid when there's a fuck-up. Now, quiet down and let the adults talk, okay? Watch your step on Monarch. It's not just the monsters and sulfur pits you gotta look out for. Captain, I've been thinking. Captain, I can't stop thinking about that business with Harlow. What did I tell you? Harlow's down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it. I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy. I've seen lots of crazy, Captain, but Phineas is in a class of his own. I hope you got a conde to pay you up front. Tartarus is a hell of a place to wake up, Captain. Uh-huh. Sure, then we'd better hope he doesn't blow himself up while we're gone. Or if he does, that he has a killer insurance policy. Ever notice how this job gets bigger and more dangerous every time he calls in? He's asking a lot, Captain. Everybody's got an angle. I'm just wondering what yours is. Makes me wonder what your angle is. I knew a doctor like him once. He had a patient complaining of ankle pain, so he amputated the man's foot. Fair enough. But you should know he's not the only game in town. That's one way of looking at it. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I know you've been talking with the board's people. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway. Everyone is. The board just pays the best. Don't think of it as being a lackey. Think of it as doing a job and getting paid really, really well. Besides, none of this is your mess, so why go dirtying your hands with it? I haven't survived this long by being wrong. And anyway, Phineas isn't your only option. Now that's some smart thinking. But Phineas isn't the only game in town, you know. Hate to say it, but the right thing rarely pays well. Guess I hadn't looked at it that way. Still, Phineas isn't your only option. Exactly. I know you want to save the day, but don't forget to look after yourself. No one else out here's going to. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, so I probably don't need to tell you this, but look out for yourself. No one else out here will. Hey, don't get any ideas. I'm just making sure you last long enough to pay me at the end of this. In either case, you should know Wells isn't the only game in town. I mean, you seem to be doing her a lot of favors. I haven't seen anyone work this hard since Parvati had her big date with Junlei. Just make sure you have your terms in writing. Maybe tattoo him if you can spare an ass cheek. Those board folks are slippery. Oh, okay, I'm ready. The punchline? Wait, you're serious? I figure if the board's rates are that good, I might as well ask you for a reference. Why else would you work for the board? Then don't be mad. But I may have snuck a bite of your lunch the other day. Can't argue with that. Most anyone who's tried is a sooty crater by now. Hey, save Halcyon, good for you. I'm just saying, while you're at it, no harm in patting your pockets. For what it's worth, I think you're making a smart move. Just watch your back. These new friends make bad enemies. I gotta ask, though, why cozy up to the board in the first place? Most of the crews I've run with keep their distance. Ah, greed. Refreshing. Simple. Okay. Just checking. Do you really think he knows what he's doing? Sending us to skip the Hope into Terratu's orbit right under the board's nose? Something tells me you're the first person to ever utter those words, Captain. There's a sobering thought. Makes me want to drink. Speaking of, I get that Phineas thinks he's saving the colony, but what about you? Why risk your neck on this crazy scheme? I think this whole plan's insane. But it'll make a good story. You know, if we survive. Coming from anyone else, that would sound like a line from one of those Odeon Pictures movies. But I think you really mean it. Still, all this depends on the other Hope colonists. Are they gonna pull us out of the shit? Or are we all just gonna leave a bigger, uglier stain on this corner of the galaxy? I'd settle for a bottle of whiskey and some lubrinicine, but I've never been much of a self-starter. You're too trusting, and I'm gonna remember that when I negotiate for my cut of our reward, okay? Well, whenever you're ready to do this, I'm with you. The part with the Hope, I mean, not the other thing. That thinking's gotten me into all sorts of trouble. Makes you wish for a fancier ship with bigger engines. Don't know about you, but I'd be out of here if I could. I'm gonna try to forget that you've been calling the shots this whole time. That's how I look at it. I've been wondering what this is about for you. Skipping the Hope to Tartarus? Hell of a place to wake up. I can take a hint. I'd call that a generous assessment. Can't fault you for that. Not much else you can guarantee out here. Throw in some exclamation points and a sleek graphic, and there's your propaganda poster. Where do you think this is headed for everyone else, though? You think the board's gonna pull Halcyon out of its tailspin? You're a breath of fresh air, Captain. Of course you do. Spoken like a true corporate. I don't know about that. I've never been one for long-term thinking. In any case, say the word and I'll be right behind you. Or beside you. Whichever. In either case, you've been smart to play both sides. Not many who could pull that off. And you've been smart to play both sides. Not many who could pull that off. Another is that he pulled you out of hibernation without your say-so and got you to do his dirty work. That's the way to do it, long as nobody catches you. Don't mention it, just speaking from experience. Hey, I'm not trying to piss on your bonfire, but you ought to hear this from someone, and it might as well be an ally with a financial interest in your well-being. Last time I agreed this much with anyone, I was talking to a mirror. Glad you're looking at this sensibly. Wasn't even the right one. Point is, good intentions don't count for shit. And nothing's more dangerous than a crusader with a cause. Guess that explains why you've been playing both sides. Smart, Captain. I'll do anything for a good story. And nothing shines on a pirate's resume like a successful suicide mission. But I asked you first. Come on, Captain. That sounds like a bad movie line. This is why I like you, Captain. I'm just thinking about the future. Don't discourage my one good impulse. Like a raging case of shingles. But I digress. My point is, if the board's rates are that good, I might as well ask you for a reference. I don't know where else you'd put him. Face tattoos are tacky, and you want to save your back for a real work of art. But I'm getting off topic. What I really want to know is why cozy up to the board in the first place? Most of the crews I've run with keep their distance. Come on, Captain. Even you've got to chase the bits now and then. My daydreams just got a lot more interesting. Come on, Captain. I've run with you long enough to know you've got an eye for the angles. Not like there's a long list of contenders. Least Tartarus has working plumbing and functional air recyclers. So I hear. I'm just surprised. After all your talk, I didn't think you'd have the stomach for this. I think you're making a smart play. The board holds every advantage, and you've elbowed your way into their ranks. Not that I'm surprised. Even if you haven't been in Halcyon long, you're savvier by a mile than most. Ain't that the truth? If only you'd known before you signed up for a one-way trip out here. If that's not making lemons slap out of lemons, I don't know what is. For what it's worth, you've played your cards right. Fresh out of hibernation, and you've already elbowed your way into the board's ranks. Fair enough. You've played it smart and elbowed your way into the board's ranks. Better to look at what's ahead, right? And you've carved a cozy little niche for yourself alongside the board. Doubts are for people with strong morals and weak stomachs. I gotta ask, do you really believe the board's plan will work out for everyone else? Or does saying so just make this easier to swallow? Sometimes that's best in this line of work. Usually not the die-in-a-board prison kind. So we're just gonna march straight into Byzantium and acquire some rare chemicals right under the board's nose? So we're really gonna do this? I sure hope you got a conde to pay you up front for that sleight of hand with Wells. So we're skipping a colony ship for the board, huh? I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Can you believe those two? Great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent and desperation. I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium.
What in the void did you do?
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time.
I didn't like how things went down either, but did you have to go and kill them? I wanted you to make an impression on them, not in them!
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Well, that's the thing. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise, but I worked so hard. I dropped the accent, picked up a swagger, developed a taste for Spacer's Choice. Maybe I could skip a few more showers, drink milk straight from the jug. Yeah, I'll try that. Thanks. Trust me, a conversation with my parents is work. Just think about it. Well, I bet they won't know the difference. I bet they'll barely recognize me. This is why I have to see them. They'll hardly recognize me. Well, they know me as Marilyn the surgeon. They don't know Ellie the pirate sawbones. But you're authentic rabble. True riffraff. When they see you, they'll get it. Come on, I didn't leave home and become a pirate because I enjoy making responsible decisions. I only wish I could pull it off as well. You had the floors redone with real Terran marble? Since when can you afford that? I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again. And you'll report it to the insurance company, right? Why did you do that?
Hey! You're supposed to be on my side, not until I get some answers.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here? That's it? You just want us to disappear now? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking. But not like I wanted. I had it all planned out. I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently. I thought they'd be scandalized. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. Shh, I'm getting to the good part. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug? Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me to come back and make a big scene. Then Mother would do the old, you had us worried sick. Her eyes would be red and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. Wait a second. What if I could get that money? Want to bet? I've got some big appetites, and they're all cheap. I'm not hurt. I'm outraged. Affronted, even. Besides, if anyone deserves to profit off my death, it's me. Let's look at this as an advance. On my dying eventually, they'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day. I don't get mopey. I get mad, caustic, indiscriminately aggressive. The payouts are already scheduled. What if I could get the money routed to an account of my own? I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. You know me, Captain. I don't like to leave a debt unpaid. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have the money too.
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future?
Just don't ask me what I plan on doing with it. Yeah. The funny thing about getting what you want is then you gotta figure out what to do with it. Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've gotta be worried sick. Whoa, let's calm down. I'm not asking for a favor or anything. Which brings us to where we are today. Several messages and a few years late. I'm just suggesting we stop by. When we're in the neighborhood. I'm only bringing it up because we're already here. Oh, well, I was thinking you'd come too. Reconnect is a strong word. Yeah, exactly. What? You're joking, right? Oh, I see what you're doing. Now you're acting like my parents. Very funny, Captain. Hey, you're not my father. You don't get to tell me what to do. Hey, you're not my mother. You don't get to tell me what to do. Oh, is that how it's gonna be? Well, can't order me around if I stop listening to you. Fine. And, I was thinking you'd come too, because it would be fun. Whew. Good. Looks like I'll be seeing them then. You're the boss. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one. Of course not. I mean, not unless you want to bring a feral canid or a mantis on a leash. That'd make a real impression. Yeah, just don't let it go to your head. Oh, and help yourself to the good snacks and put your feet on the coffee table. Mother hates that. That's the idea. Just know that I've got plenty more suggestions if you need them. In any case, this'll still be a shock to my parents. I bet they'll barely recognize me. And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. I don't know what to say. He's usually not like this. I don't know what to say. She's usually not like this. If you say so. But keep the Calavedos handy, 'cause we'll be back. The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into, right? Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time. Are you trying to make me look bad? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. Come on, try to get into it a little more. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. He's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble? She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble? That means it's getting fun. You tell him it's the floors. Just a second. What did you do? You what? Damn right, Captain. Let's just get out of here, Captain. Play the ruffian angle some more. You're supposed to help me make an impression. There you go again, Captain. Always menacing polite society. In the flesh. I guess I did too, when I joined up with you. Me being mad doesn't mean I wanted you to murder them. That wasn't a problem before it meant killing my folks in their own home. You're on your own now. Consider my debt to you forgotten and canceled. Don't let the door clip you on the way out. It sure better be. Now go! We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. Absolutely. I can hold on to my anger for a real long time. Now, getting back to my story, I'll consider that a compliment. I'd love to know how you'd describe getting kneecapped. I'm used to rough situations. Like when someone loads your pistol with blanks and strands you in a Marauder moonbase, or traps you in an airlock with an angry mantis worm. I always thought I knew that. Didn't realize it would take getting stabbed in the back to really get it. Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Unless you mean the kind who'll look out for you to blink so they can swipe your bits. The galaxy's not exactly crawling with those. I hope you don't think I'm talking about this because I want to be introspective. Uh-oh, it looks like we're in for a big talk. I know. What can I say? I don't collect things, I collect experiences. I know. This whole experience is stuck in my head like a bad jingle. Can't I just have a drink and punch some poor defenseless pillow instead? Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around thinking about all this. I want to take action. I would have fixed a drink if I knew we were in for one of these. But I want to talk about me now. Just can't think of a good use for this one. Just need something worse to get it out. There, that's what I was talking about. Really, though, good thing it happened with a couple top-rungers who can't stick worse than a butter knife in me. You really know how to cheer a girl up, don't you? They've got no idea what a real double cross looks like. Much less a Hephaestian triple cross. Or an inverted Olympian blind cross. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. As long as I don't develop a taste for wool gonzola and bad legal dramas, that's fine by me. Good thing I caught up on my messages, because I got one saying my policy's been updated with a new beneficiary. That wouldn't be your doing, would it? Being a surgeon out there isn't as great as it seems. At least half your day is paperwork and red tape. No amount of money is worth dealing with that. Maybe as line holders or warm bodies? Oh, sure. You've got to wait in line for just about anything in Byzantium, and not everyone has the time or inclination to do it themselves. As for warm bodies, some companies like to keep extra workers on site to look more productive. Oh, no. There's lots of paper shuffling and pen clicking that goes on. You talk like someone who likes lists. Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble? Could have fooled me with all your tough talk. What's gotten into you? Hey, don't be modest. It's tacky. Out of all the frauds I've committed, this one's got to be my favorite. Sure. You did my job, so here's your fee. Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Forget what? If only you could have been my chief surgeon back in the day. See? Even after all your starry-eyed talk, you're a mercenary at heart. Same as me. That's one thing I appreciate about you. Things are simple, straightforward. A job's a job and that's it, right? You know, with all your starry-eyed talk, you almost had me convinced you really weren't doing this for the money. Hey, a job's a job. You know that. That's one of the things that makes you so easy to follow. Uh-huh. Well, you keep the money anyhow. One of us has to look out for your interests. You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. I always thought it meant we get used to the smell of each other's dirty socks. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. Don't mention it. Really. This feels weird enough as it is. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Well, I've got a few years of experience that would suggest differently. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. Yeah. I'm not trying to get all mushy or anything. Yeah, never hurts to get a friendly reminder, though. If I wanted philosophical bullshit, I'd talk to the vicar. A lot of folk expect some kind of soft-headed charity, especially with me being a sawbones. But you get it. See, this is why I had to get out of Byzantium. Not sure what comes next for me, though. I've never been much of a planner. The really good ones know how to leave sticky notes in just the right places. I've never been much of a planner. Makes my eyeballs itch. It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Relieved, actually. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Yeah, don't make too much of this, okay? But you really do see a rosier version of things, huh? You know, I think I get you just a little more now. I don't trust people who pretend they have all the answers anyway. Plenty of sense in that. I hear you there. You know, I'm thinking I ought to find another gig once this one's all done. One where I can really work on my own. Easiest way to take care of myself is to work with the one person I trust the most, right? Anyway, enough chit-chat. Sure. Don't get ahead of yourself. I don't normally hand out compliments. I get it. Halcyon's a rough place. Doesn't help to get all starry-eyed about it. Hey, let's not get all mushy. I'm still here to see this one through. Fair enough. What are you saying, Captain? Hey, I get it. If anything, I respect you more now. You're the boss. I guess we're going to Fallbrook. What a relief. The less time we have to spend in Byzantium, the better. This looks like the place. Ready to get my money or what? Let's talk outside. I ought to examine both of you for head wounds. As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about. You finally get me, Vicar. Let's see. I got freedom, independence, and usually space from people telling me how to live my life. See? I knew there was a lecture coming. Now, why couldn't you just have said that in the first place? I'm always where I'm supposed to be. Here and now. Gotta hand it to you, Max. You make my old med school lectures seem interesting. Then, don't let me keep you from that. That's a pretty big gun for a hunter. Yeah, but what's left after you're done with them? You sure, Captain? Always nice to have an extra gun, especially a really big one. Uh-oh. This looks bad. Exactly. Takes a lot of trust to hand over that kind of blackmail material. Didn't think you had it in you. I'm impressed. Good choice for getting sloshed when you want to act fancy about it. Think of it like a fizzy tea that's gone a little off. I'd give you my advice, but if I'm being honest, you're probably better off following whatever the captain has to say. Let's read it right now, just to be sure. Aw, this was just about to get fun. This was fun. We should do it again after you send that message. Hey, Sam. Tell a dirty joke. Sam, did you clean my quarters? I couldn't find anything this morning. Ugh, fine. Tell any joke. Stop! I just put everything back. I'll remove that cleaning attachment and shove it up your exhaust pipe. Get screwed, Sam. Next ship, I'm asking for a door that locks. I see what you're trying to do, so I'm gonna give you a pass on calling me family. I'm regretting a lot of things right now. You've got to learn to assume the worst. Nope. Careful. These'll give you retinal damage if you stare too long. There's no way they actually make anything here. This place looks way too nice. Let me know if you don't want your sample. Can't let it go to waste. Hopefully it keeps the monologues to a minimum. A twin? The only thing worse than being an only child has gotta be having a perfect sibling. Can you imagine the parents? The captain's trying to ask how you're still alive. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm just as confused as the captain is. I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. Couldn't agree more. The last thing this colony needs is more grinning idiots. Hey, I've been ready to confront that guy. I was just gonna wait until he really embarrassed himself. It's astounding you haven't been the death of me, Captain. We should definitely go. As for helping him, maybe we take the wait-and-see approach? Seriously? Are we gonna interrogate the refrigerator next? Yeah, really makes you look like a famous tossball player in a hat. Drunk is the medical term. A shot of Spectrum mixed in a Gigantor energy drink first thing in the morning. Works like a charm. You have no idea how long I've wanted to do this. Listen up, Spratfuck. You're in big trouble. You're gonna tell us what we want to know, or you're gonna find out what the inside of Tartarus looks like. You think you're our only source? If that even is your real name? Hey, I'm asking the questions here. From now on, you don't talk until I tell you to. And when I do, you better sing like a terror ray. Got it? Sorry, Captain. I've only got one setting. While you've been here nursing your conscience, your friends have been talking. And it's not looking good for you, Birdie. Trust me, I've practiced this in the mirror lots of times. You can do just about anything if you act like someone gave you permission. Believe me. What did I tell you about asking questions? I'm just here for ambiance. I'm all for taking pointless risks, but that's just disgusting. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're just trying to make me feel useful. She was in the Purpleberry Orchards, Captain. Captain, no! I'm a lone gun at heart. The captain's just the latest of many. Really? Great. I think I even have my spare scalpel with me. The rusty one I never clean, not the good one. We should ask if they're comping the minibar. This might take a while if you get me. There's no way you could know that. I'd say I'm impressed, but I really don't want to encourage you. Long enough that you're gonna wash your hands real well after this. Sluglight? That's a new one. It's probably just ground up fast ration pills. Or it's the real thing, which is an incredibly dangerous hallucinogen that tastes disgusting. Anything interesting? You can tell all that? Still, I wonder what she was doing out here. Wonder what she was after. At least we know she was here. Believe me, you don't need a fancy gadget to detect Saltuna breath. Believe me, I considered it. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna use that. Why do people who are hiding something always have so much to say about it? Taking someone else's old thing and repackaging it as your new thing? Classic Byzantium. You've gotta be doing this just to mess with me. So, what'd you find? Huh. Wonder why someone would leave it here. Does that mean we can toss them over the side of the complex when we find them? I guess that's progress, for you. That's how breakups go some of the time. Or all of the time, for some of us. I only wish you could appreciate the irony with me. I don't know what's wrong with him, but let's keep our distance. If that means we're technically stealing, I'm in. Normally I'm all for being difficult, but maybe we ought to tell him. It was Anna Summers. She caused everything. Sounds like the kind of job where you're mostly supervising. I was too distracted by whatever was going on with his eyes to pay much attention to what he said. I doubt it. I've used that exact same line. There's no way that backfires. If it makes you feel any better, no one I've seen here deserves their job. I could never get past her hair. No one having that many gunfights could have hair that perfect. If that's happiness, it's chemical happiness. I don't know if whatever that is catching, but let's keep our distance. Sounds like our killer's still out there. That sure is a lot of purple. That might actually be worse than the teacup kind. I guess you can make any old junk seem special if you put it in an exhibit. Hey, you can see into the hotel rooms with that thing. Fancy place. I hope they're not expecting us to pay. That smell. Whatever that is, it'll kill more than bacteria. This is how top-rungers like to enjoy nature. From far away and with a stiff drink. I get it. Wonder who gets it if you hit it over the edge. Watch out. This place is half sublight thugs and half top-rungers on vacation. Both are dangerous. This place is more exciting than I thought. Gotta be a back entrance or something. Captain, either you've sustained brain damage or you're about to. Trouble ahead. If I were the killer, I'd hide the body in one of those crates. No one would find it for years. Somehow, I don't think the freelancers and sublight agents are staying at the Grand Colonial. We getting a 5-finger discount, Captain? Is that keen? Is this supposed to keep the critters in or the guests out? Place looks like it's seen better days. I don't get it. Why build a place to get dust up your nose and wrapped it on spit in your eyes when Monarch's free to visit? Okay, nobody needs this many candles. Did you know a third of Halcyonites are allergic to trees? Most spend their whole lives in ships or in their town's walls. What do you think they've got in there? Rabid animals? Death traps? Do you hear buzzing? Captain, I'm gonna hazard a guess and say someone tried to kill us. There better be a rummin' something waiting for us in here. At least we know all the wasp-mosquitoes are out there. I think. What would Halcyon Helen be doing in an R&D lab? Testing out a new eye cream? This place is definitely not sanitary. Are they growing parasites in those tanks? Hope you're not afraid of heights. I don't know what we're gonna find in there, but based on what we've seen so far, I'd say be ready for anything. This place is already making my eyes hurt. Pretty sure that's the same medical-grade dye we use to identify blood clots. It never leaves your system. I wish I'd worn my muddy boots and the jacket with holes in it. Can you imagine the looks we'd get? You'd think these people have never seen a corpse before. Nice. Top-rungers are into some weird shit. I'm leaving my shoes on. You think they'll let us expense the booze? I call the big bed. Anyone wants to challenge me, we can play a hand of cards. I'm gonna nick a few towels. They won't notice. I just wish they'd finished what they started. But then I guess we wouldn't be getting a free stay. Ooh, maybe they had to put a body in storage. That would be fun. I'm starting to see why you keep a doctor around. Wonder how many of these boxes fell off the back of a loader. That was way more fun than using the front door. See, making your card game look like a big illegal secret just makes it more fun. Wanna guess which gland Essence of Sprat comes from? Yeah, me neither. Usually it's just after money. Or mine is, anyway. It's not worth it, buddy. Imagine making that much of the stuff and it still tastes bad. Just when we were gonna get some answers. Captain, you just found a Rizzo's product I might actually like. Don't they realize this just makes us more curious about that data file? These puncture marks. It looks like she was injected with something. Well, they're definitely dead. Any idea what happened? Yeah, you're right. There are lots of ways to kill someone without spilling blood. But I guess this isn't the time. Maybe it was an energy weapon. If it's causing sudden aggressive behavior in lab technicians, there must be a fast-acting neurological agent of some kind. Even I think that's pretty cold, and I'm a mercenary. Your call, Captain. I don't know if the lab techs can even be helped at this point. We better hurry, Captain. I'd rest easier with that big slug being dead if it hadn't made so many little slugs. Let's get out of this place, Captain. You know, something about infecting all these pompous top-rungers who've come here to escape their frilly lives in Byzantium seems fitting. Still, I wouldn't stick around this place for long. So Helen's alive, and we're helping her thwart a conspiracy. You sure there aren't cameras around here? Birdie doesn't seem like he has the, how do I put this, intelligence to hide a bottle of zero-G, much less a murder. There's something real shifty about Cedric. I don't know what he's up to, but I wouldn't want to be on the wrong end of it. I've run with a lot of swindlers and thieves, but that guru is in a class of her own. Still, I'm not sure I see her killing Helen, if only because there's no money in it. I don't know if Spencer has a backbone to kill Helen, but I'd love to slap him around anyway. Just for fun. Does being on the case give us temporary immunity? Think they'll let us confiscate a few stray bits? Guess I ought to call you Inspector while we're on Eridanos. I take back everything I said about teacup canids being the worst pets. Do you want to let her down, or should I? She's taking a break in here while someone else does the work. I've run with that type. As a doctor, I really want to know what that tastes like. Nothing a few dozen rounds of processing and human trials can't fix. You could do worse, and Automec's never gonna steal your beer money or get with your ex. At least he gave his life for a worthy cause.
Ooh, smells like burning meat and bad hygiene. What do you say we get out of here before we join whoever that was on the grill? Are those hibernation pods? And I thought my bunk was small. I'd say anything here falls under the salvage protocols of finders keepers. Not like someone left their name on it. Takes a lot of fun to rack up a find like that. Hotter than usual in here. Hope we're not catching Junlei on a bad day. Is it just me or is it hot in here? Junlei's gotta be having a bad day. The beds are comfy, but you'll want to check the mattress before you settle in. We're getting all our shots after this. I'd been meaning to break this jacket in. Some freelancers sneer at Sublight for setting up a storefront, but they rake in the bits. Ah, Sublight. The legitimate smuggling business. Got no love for the board, but their bits are as good as anybody's. Smells like money. Breathe it in, Captain. Sublight's always got plenty of work. Good gig if you don't mind where the bits come from. I would have done the same. Just make sure they pay you up front. What I wouldn't give for a surgical mask right now. You have any disinfectant, Sam? Cannibals, sulfur pits, acid-spewing rats. Been looking for a change of scenery. Long as there's paying work, you can count me in. If you like handing over money, you're gonna love Byzantium. If you liked handing over your money, you'll love it there. I swear that thing looked bigger from the outside. You ever get the urge to just hawk one on the floor? Just goes to show you never really see your hometown till you travel with a visitor. I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young. You think all that stuff about the colony dying is real? Or was that just a pricey sales pitch? Celeste's? Very funny. One of these days, I'll stuff you into a hibernation pod. See how you like that. Does that elevator go back up? This would have made a great arena match. What a waste. What a waste. This would be a great arena match, but the board's gotta make it a death trap. My cousin's in pictures. That business makes piracy look civil, and I thought nothing fun ever happened in this town. Sure, they look fancy, but inside, they're just marble and existential emptiness. I once treated a lady who got her hand caught in the gears. Idiot was more worried about her rings than her fingers. According to local legend, if you walk around the orrery 3 times, your corporate rival will die of a paper cut. I never could have handled the desk job. Nah, probably just shot. This reminds me of... Oh, never mind. That's top-of-the-line equipment. Better than most hospitals, even. Guess I wouldn't want to tell anyone if I'd lost an assault cruiser, either. I've had patients ask for some pretty bizarre procedures, but this takes the cake. I swear pirates are some of the worst pilots. Makes us all look unprofessional. You take us to the nicest places, Captain. Hope you're doling out hazard pay. You a fan of the hard way, Captain? Whoa, I'd pay to see that again. Love to get my hands on whatever did that. Bunch of amateurs. Sublight should have seen this coming. Something about this place makes me feel sane by comparison. Ah, crazy town. Never change. And here I thought the rumors about Monarch being full of crazy people were all made up. I really doubt that. This place is supposed to look like horns? I don't see it. Why do people make such a big thing out of hiking? Once you're up, you just gotta go down again. They knew the risks when they signed up. Food poisoning is one of the leading causes of death in Halcyon. Not surprising when you see these places from the inside. I've gotta do more cardio. Unfiltered air, rocks in my shoes, risky choke points, all the things I hate about mountains. My trigger finger is feeling the burn after that. Drinking, gambling, and organized crime. Everything you need to keep civilization running. Sublight territory. Feels like being home. I'd have a drink with her. Though I'd keep one hand on my gun and the other on my bit cartridge. Now there's a woman who knows what she wants.
I like her. I had a patient who went swimming at a place like this. Got eaten from the inside out by parasitic amoebas. With all the bullets I've spent, feels like we ought to have killed something bigger. Getting my target practice in today. Me too. You know corpses shit themselves, right? Enjoy the smell. Smells like death. You know corpses shit themselves, right? I'll wait out here. Just when I started thinking there was no civilization on this rock. Whoever wins, we can still loot the bodies. Am I the only one getting hungry? Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships. Think they left anything good behind? Ugh. This is why I prefer spaceships and clean recycled air. The only thing nastier than a giant bug is a sick one. Nature's disgusting. Who does something like this? I've seen and made my share of corpses, but this is downright unsettling. Gotta admit, killing them felt real good. That was fun. 100 Bits says these guys get squashed by the board within a month. Not much I can do for this guy. If this place was abandoned, how come it still smells like sweetener and despair? Guess that was the hard part. Now it's just the part that might blow us up. Watch those traps. My field stitches aren't exactly pretty. Wanna take bets on how many mans I got? This is why you don't go getting attached. Look, there's gotta be some kind of award for that. I knew you had it. Uh-oh. We've gotta get out of here. Fast. Guess we're going up. Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again. Sure never planned on seeing the inside of this place. Hope you're right about this, Captain. Guess this is it, huh? Nice of them to leave us a few options. The real covert labs don't gotta advertise it. After you. All this fresh air is making my nose itch. Dare you to touch it. Finders keepers, Captain. Looks like a great spot for an ambush. Hell of a welcome. Looks like we missed the fun. Could use a bit more angle on those arms. But they got the right idea. No security. Not that I'm complaining. They call that a parking job. These pirates are making the rest of us look bad. Captain, a word? I've stayed in worse. So, hoping to score some free samples? 50 Bits says this guy's already wrapped fodder. Couldn't they have left something for us? Reminds me of medical school. Dunno about you, but this just makes me want to get inside even more. Mind if I grab a few souvenirs? Reminds me of my first cabin on the Groundbreaker. 4 roommates, 1 bathroom. Just like the good old days in the surgery ward. Someone knows how to make an entrance. Let's take bets on what shuts him up first. A hungry rapt or my backhand. Reminds me of the first ship I crewed on. Captain had to ban Borst and baked beans. Makes you wonder about their labs. This is how you hide something valuable in plain sight. This is the right place if you want to trade contraband, or hide smuggled goods, or do anything fun, really. Scylla, no laws, no lines, and a whole lot of guns. I love this place. Perfect spot for some peace and quiet. Place never even had a bar. No wonder it's abandoned. Those guys are either gonna try to shoot us or sell us something potent. Either way, should be fun. Here we go. A few of these are sublight. Guess Lilia was trying to expand. There's no credible research on the health effects of standing directly under a terraformer, Captain. In case you were wondering, hard to imagine leaving something as expensive as a terraformer lying around. I only read over your shoulder a little, but that manual looks like it's got something to do with that terminal. You probably don't need my diagnosis, but he's definitely dead. I only read over your shoulder a little, but that manual looks like it might help us disable the automechs. Think there's a generator somewhere? Those subjects, they're still alive. Nice. I've never been great at de-escalation. Watch your step. It's done. Now let's go get our money before Sublight sees what a creepy dump this place is. Wait, Chartrand? We've seen that name before. Back in Cascadia. Sure are a lot of charging automechs. What are the chances they're friendly? I was looking forward to doing some shooting anyway. And I thought those tiny canids were ugly. Whatever that is, it's loud. Let's hope we didn't need a passcode. At least you waited till after we got her key. Why do I get the feeling they're not here to welcome us? If there's subtext here, I'm not gonna dig for it. Smooth, Captain. I see what you did there. And I'm impressed. Go outlaw and rob everyone who comes across your docking bay? Money, obviously. Plus, it's fun. You're off by a year. But I think that's the least of your problems, especially the people who pay you. Don't worry, the captain does this to everyone. Aw, that's no fun. At the very least, there ought to be something worth stealing in there. Okay, maybe not. Just when I thought Byzantines couldn't get any weirder. Did doors suddenly go out of fashion? I don't think we're getting a warm welcome this time. There goes that payday. Too bad. She was born away from Byzantium. Should have stayed out. I'll admit, I was expecting a wine cellar. It's not theft if she's giving us permission. Always prefer getting paid to getting shot for my silence. You don't know much about how things get made here, do you? Trust me, we are nothing alike. You're out here alone? I'd go crazy. Remember, play hard to get. That's negotiation. Damn. Wish I'd thought of that. You know, some people work hard just to break out. That's Byzantium for you. Gossip mongering's a bigger sport than tossball. I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll love it. It's never too late to change, Minnie. A lot of jobs out there for half-decent freelancers. And most of the competition ends up like Lucky. He's definitely not doing that anymore. That sounds like Lucky, all right. The man loved to show off. I've gotten jobs from some unusual sources, but this is a first. Congratulations, Captain. She might even be open to giving us hazard pay. On account of the severed arm. I like trouble. And this sounds like the kind that pays well. Well, I'm not cleaning it up. He liked to show off his battle scars. I get the feeling he won't be flashing this one around. Nice! Can she do that again? I've been on the other side of a boarding dock enough to recognize amateurs. This kind of thing's pretty common. Bijou's used to do a prison-themed night. Served fish sticks with tartarus sauce. Ugh, I've always hated these things. Basically sprats with an attitude. Yeah, look out. That's what they do just before they piss everywhere. You know, stealing from these assholes is its own reward. That's beyond cruel. Even here. No, Captain. Lab coats. As in scientists. I live for risk. We were hoping to find Lo alive, right? Whoa! That one was close, Captain. You think it's supposed to shake like that? Sure don't see that every day, Captain. Something tells me he's not looking for caffeinoid, Captain. Yeah. At least you've got your priorities in order. Doctor's orders. This ought to be good. Seriously, Captain? Hey, if they couldn't keep one job, what are the odds they're any better at this one? Hey, we beat him once. We'll beat him again. Felix, you got any tossball metaphors? We're not gonna let this sprat fuck tell us what to do. Are we, Captain? She's asking about his research, Captain. You really expect things to be different this time? You know that's the definition of insanity, right? I've been asking myself the same thing. About time. I didn't understand a word of that, but it sounds like you brought her around. Gotta admire the man's imagination. I think she's insulting her sense of humor. We're not gonna let that stand, are we? Guess that's one thing I can give my folks credit for. Guess all parents are alike, huh? Well, this is sounding awfully familiar, Captain. It's a shame Minnie didn't turn to piracy. I'd trust a gang of outlaws over Byzantine top-rungers any day, and I thought my parents were crazy. Well, at least they're predictable. Top-rungers and corporate shills have been telling horror stories about the lawless wilds for so long, I don't think anyone noticed when they came true. Can't say I disagree, but hiding out on a rock seems like a shitty way to wait for the end. I'd pick the gun. I don't believe in sides, Captain, but that doesn't mean the board isn't Halcyon's best chance for survival. Honestly, just a lot of people competing to survive. Stay armed and ready, Captain. I still don't trust her. Really? No more prepare to die, little weasel? Hey, if you don't want it, I'll drink it. So the answer is hole up and wait for the end? Captain, you know that's bullshit. Some of them have nicer clothes and fancier titles, but everyone's looking to grab what they can while they can. Well, almost everyone. If I've learned one thing running with the captain, it's that we're better off sticking together. But marauders are just mindless lunatics, right? There can't be more to it than that. Marauders have caused almost as much death and destruction as factory accidents. If whoever that was is right, this place is hiding something big. The only thing responsible for more deaths than marauders is factory accidents. But I take your point. Still, something about the idea of someone creating them makes my skin crawl. Let's be careful. I always figured they were townies who spent too long on the factory line. Guess there's more to it. I can't handle both of these on the ship, Captain. I hope that's not where this is going. Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place. We could always go back and rile him up again later. I wouldn't get too close to that railing, just in case. As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved. And disgusting, knowing how Byzantines treat failure like it's catching. I can see why Minnie'd want to clear the family name. I hate to use the T word, but do you really trust this Lucian guy to do better? That's the whole point of bureaucracy, isn't it? The same folks who make the worst guns owned by the most hull-headed mercs in the system. At least they're consistent. All it takes is a few slack wits at the top for even a good job to go south. Still, Spacer's Choice spent a fortune on this place. filled it with the best and brightest lab coats they could find, and this is what they came up with? I'd say everything did. Sloppy work, poor management, and a questionable odor? I'll say. And I didn't mean to stick my first chief surgeon with a scalpel, but try telling her that. You mean the idiot who got his new team pink-slipped. Fair point. I've seen some reckless operations, but here? It's like they were trying to get people killed. Normally, I'd agree with you, but something about this one's eating at me. Maybe it's the fact that marauders are everywhere in Halcyon, or that Adrenatime is. You know, the more they tell us to stop, the more I want to see what they're keeping us from. And here I was, hoping we'd have the place to ourselves. That's gotta be our pal from the OCI, right? I'm starting to wonder what they're hiding. They clearly don't know how we work, Captain. What I'm stuck on is this. Spacer's Choice knew what Adrenatime would do, and they released it anyway. And pointless. I expected a bunch of hall-headed fuck-ups. I didn't expect this. You've got to develop a healthy sense of cynicism, Captain. And into a bottle of something strong, if I've got any say. Look, I've seen some messy operating tables, but this is a first. And hopefully a last. I didn't think Spacer's Choice was capable of causing this much harm. Competently, I mean. I just wonder if that heiress isn't gonna collapse on her fainting couch when she gets that journal, whatever it holds. You still getting that journal for Lucien? If so, I'd want to be far away from here by the time he gets his hands on it. If only their handguns were as deadly. Their guns have the highest misfire rate of any in the colony. If anyone could fumble their way into this much butchery, I guess it would be Spacer's Choice. Can we punch this asshole in the face, Captain? Eventually? Well, I'm glad. I've been looking forward to punching the sprat fuck in the throat. And I thought my mother was a handful. This job has gotten messy. What's on your mind? Sure. Like Ada said, he was a big name among freelancers. I met him at Lost Hope once. He was buying rounds for everyone and telling a story about one of his jobs. Sure. Pretty sure half of it was made up. You ever get the feeling someone's just trying too hard? I'm gonna ignore that bit of subtext, Captain. Exactly. There was just something about Montoya I couldn't quite trust. That's your problem, Captain. I'm trying to say that if he screwed this job up, that's on him. I still like our odds. He was always the center of a room, and he slapped a lot of backs to stay there. Well, maybe for some of us. Anything else? You may have had a rep, but you're more capable than he ever was. Hey, don't get used to it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Anyone's tolerable when they're paying your tab. Lucky was just better at selling himself than he was at anything else. Yeah, well, just remember that when we get paid. Hey, I only throw in with winners. Hey, you're the captain because you're the one who has to think about this stuff. I'm just along for the ride. If it makes you feel any better, Halcyon's probably fucked either way. Minnie may be an empty-headed socialite, but she's got money. I don't trust her with Gorgon, but that'll be someone else's problem. Lucien's a snake, but he's a snake with money. I don't trust him to run Gorgon, but that'll be someone else's problem. Fine. Besides, Dr. Ambrose is an idealist. And you know what I think about idealists. You know I'm not one to pass up a good payday. But after everything we've seen, handing Gorgon back to Spacer's Choice doesn't sit right. Dr. Ambrose may be almost as crazy as Phineas, but she may be right, too. We done with the introspection? I'd rather get back to shooting or drinking. They're dangerous and annoying, so we might as well pick the option that pays the best. If you think about it, sure. That's why I'm trying not to, if you say so. I still took the last 0G brew from the fridge and didn't buy more. You know I've got no love for top-rungers. But if Minnie's willing to pay, I say we take her money. Gotta hand it to that heiress. I didn't think she had the stones to deal with someone like Lucien. I've done some crazy jobs, but this one is more complicated than most. And I have a feeling we've got a few more surprises in store. If there's one thing you could say about Lucky Montoya, he was always at the center of a story. Guess this is fitting. From his arm, the decay makes it hard to tell. Could be a lot of things. You heard the phonograph. Idiot had a theory about canids and got too close. Sounds like Lucky, all right. I try not to get into should, Captain. But if we don't do the job, another crew will. And I'd rather us be the ones receiving the bits. Torn off by something with big teeth, torn off by something with big claws, torn off by someone with a moderately sharp blade. Or maybe he just got too close to heavy machinery. Yeah, you know, I never gave him much thought before. They were just another occupational hazard. But the idea of someone creating them makes my stomach twist. Not something I'd like to dwell on. Gladly. I used to think they were just more stories from the board to show how dangerous Halcyon was outside of a corporate township's walls. Marauders, dissidents, outlaws. They all just seem like different versions of the same boogeyman, but they all fall to bullets. So at the end of the day, the where and how didn't seem worth thinking on. You pointed out, and Spacer's Choice is just gonna point to their warning labels. Delusional violence is just another side effect. Besides, most people are used to getting a shitty deal from the corporations. Realizing that Spacer's Choice sold them a bad drug is more of the same. There's not an easy option here, Captain, but knowing you, you'll make the right call. I'm just hoping we don't need Lucky's arm to open something else. Lucky's problem was that he was always overconfident in himself. But us? We got this, whatever it is. I don't know what kind of mess Spacer's Choice made here, but it figures they'd leave it to someone else to clean up. Whatever happened here, we're not gonna be next. Be ready. This reminds me of the punchline to a joke I heard once. Let's keep moving before we get all introspective. You really think Spacer's Choice made marauders out of all these people? Why do I have a feeling we're not gonna like what's in there? Never seen a corporation spend this much on a place only to let it rust. You, doing okay, Parvati? Except for Monarch, and Scylla, and Emerald Vale. Okay, I take it back. Right behind you, Captain. Promise. Maybe next time I stay on the ship. I'm hoping this leads us to someone we can talk with face to face. Or punch, if it comes to that. Think this comms tower's gonna lead us to someone with answers? Or more warnings and riddles? See, this is why I prefer being a spacer. Hard to imagine people living here. Guess that's true of any company town, though. Guess his luck ran out after all. I know bones. But I don't know what that is. Is it weird that all these traps just make me want to see what they're hiding? Someone does not want us here. Let's do this, and then let's get paid. Finally, the SMC! We'd better be getting paid overtime after all this. Oh, I looked. As a doctor, I'd say you've got a 6% chance of surviving the fall. Guess we're gonna have to listen to this Jasper guy one last time. Not a bad spot for a reading nook. Let's see if we can find one of those comics. Not a bad view. Looks like someone left some goodies behind, too. Somehow, this is exactly the kind of place I'd picture a comic stash. What a mess. Probably some good salvage here. How much you want to bet she marked up her comic with sticky notes? Something tells me whoever worked here was way too organized. Looks like this guy drew the short straw. Hope we don't have to go digging for his comic. I don't know what this place is, but it's definitely a demotion. Whatever this is, it looks secret. Let's take a look. Whatever they're hiding, it better not be a stack of comics. Can't buy taste. Phineas would love this. I've been ready for this since she messed with us at the OCI. You ready? Because I've been ready since she messed with us at the OCI. Captain, there's a vent in the corner. Could be our way out. That's gotta be Ambrose's office. We're close, Captain. Not to complain, but I'm getting sick of stairs. I'd rather crawl through another HIA than work in a place like this. This is why I never wanted an honest job. Think she's in there? I'm ready to end this. Well, that's done. Much as I'd like to think Spacer's Choice won't make the same mistakes, I'd rather not stick around to find out. Wait, this is a Spacer's Choice office? Something's definitely off. They really think Adrena Time does all that? Guess you get what you pay for with Spacer's Choice guards, too. No one with an honest job has an office this nice. Yeah, and now that someone's telling us not to go digging, I kinda wanna go digging. Now that someone's telling us not to go digging, I kinda wanna go digging. So this is where Spacer's Choice's top lab coats made their wonder drug? Isn't the point of a secure off-world lab to keep things like that out? So much for the easy way. Whether you're in a fancy lab or an old rust bucket, one thing's for sure. So this is where that uppity lab coat worked, huh? What is it with mad scientists and secret labs? Let's get out of here. This place stinks like machine grease and bad science. Yep. Looks like a mess. No one cleans the common area. Whatever it is, we're up to our ankles in it. Ugh. Something smells like a marauder's armpit. Well, at least they kept him close to the drugs. Volunteer quarters? I've slept in cargo holds nicer than this. This is why I stay away from honest work. Why do I get the feeling we haven't seen the worst of this place? I'm washing my memory out with a bottle of Spectrum Red once we're back on the ship. We getting out of here? Good.